right. Everybody doing? Look like I got some lipstick going. I put a little bit too much on. How's everybody? Everybody good? Let's turn this off. All right. You can hear me okay? Too loud? Not enough? How's it going? Hi. All right. Who do we have here? Katie. Hello. Kim. Jana. Katie. Amanda. Jackie. Sierra. Skylar. Cupcake. Kumquat. Rhonda. Grits. Kim. Joe. I see you, my friend. Let's see here. Amy. Pearl's mom. Queen Heidi. Hope you're back home safe. Jackie. All right. How's everybody doing? Sorry about that. And Amanda, thank you for becoming a new member. This is only my second live with membership, so I greatly appreciate it. If you guys are able to, that would be great if you could. If you can't, no pressure, totally understand. I appreciate you guys just for being here. So I hope your Monday was good. I worked all day and it has rained nonstop, but so it is. Hi, Shorty from Jersey. So basically what we're just going to talk about today, I just wanted to show you guys a few things. I do have a lot in the pipeline, and I have some, I think, some really good content coming. You must confess. Yes. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. I wish I could give it to you. It would sure knock out a lot of fires and drought, what we're getting today. Hey, Tara. Raining here in my house. Yeah, it's just raining nonstop. It makes me want to sleep. Yeah, we're going to talk about some heads being stolen. Molly is okay. I just talked to her earlier. Molly's good. So we'll just start out, since we'll start out with the head. It doesn't sound right, but LL. 410 acres over the weekend. Oh my God. Thank you. All right. Oh, my hair is. I've been up since 5:30 this morning. Thank you. You're very sweet. Let me see where I can. So this is just I thought it would be. I think it would be interesting to give you guys interesting stories sometimes, as well as feel good stories. Sometimes it gets a lot. Hey, Jilly. But I thought this was interesting, to say the least. Hello, Glamorous Life. Shorty from Jersey. Hi, Fluffy. Lisa. So let me pull it up here. But then we're going to get to some more, which, I mean, this is serious, of course. It's human life, but real heads were stolen, and I'll explain shortly. Thank you, little bear. Good to see you, hon. So here. All right. Box of human head stolen from truck in Denver. You never know who you're riding next to, people. You never know. That's the scary part. So this is by the denverchannel.com, and it says police in Denver are investigating the theft of a box of human heads from a parked truck in the city last week. The heads, oh crap, there went an ad. The heads were marked by special research and were inside a box labeled, quote, exempt human specimens, end quote. According to the Denver Police Department, the truck was parked in the 7700 block on East 23rd Avenue when the thief broke into the freight company truck sometimes between 2:30 p.m. Wednesday and 9:30 a.m. Thursday and left with the box of human remains and a dolly, police said. It's unclear if the suspect was aware what was inside the box. No arrests have been made, and investigators are working to gather more information uh, to identify the suspect and recover the stolen items, police said in the new release. Um, there is an update on this. I will show you guys. Um, it was very interesting because I do believe the guy crashed. Um, if I am correct, but it was human heads, guys. Like, how do you steal? I just don't get it. Like, if you're a smart person, I would think you're gonna look in that box, don't you think? Yes, exactly, Fluffy. You are going to look in that box if you see, like, before I steal something, before I haul something out on a dolly, I'm going to look what I'm taking. I'm not just going to take a box just because there's something in it. But I bet you when they catch this guy, heads will roll. You ever heard that joke? Is that covered under my insurance policy? I don't know. Probably not. Um, yeah, it was pretty interesting. I found one that it said it was stolen, but anywho, I want to show you guys something else as well. So, I want to talk to you guys about the Cal City Boys. I saw Court TV did um, a great segment on the Cal City Boys, and it's just a terrible case. And I think this has been one that Vinny wanted to see solved. I mean, he wants to see all of them solved, obviously, but I think uh, this one was. Thank you, Amanda. You are too, honey. Um, I think this is one that kind of was close to him. Um, so I want to share that with you, and then we're going to talk about the main um, story of tonight, and then we'll go from there. Let me know if I'm echoing. Or let me know if it echoes rather, or if you can hear it at all.
Benny Politan, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Great to have you aboard. You know, there is no responsibility more awesome than the responsibility of being a parent. And for those of us who have children, we understand that. When you bring life into the world and there's this little human and you now are responsible for everything. You've got to keep that child safe. You've got to keep that child warm. You've got to keep the child fed. And you've got to make sure that child grows and becomes a young adult. And that whole time, you just carry this incredible amount of anxiety and am I doing the right thing? It's tough. It is tough stuff. And we know there's great parts of parenting. The rewards are endless. But that responsibility is real, which is why when I think of parents who have adopted children and think of the added responsibilities that they have and the added challenges that they have, I have so much respect for what adoptive parents do. And when they adopt a child out of...
That's what I find so interesting about this case, that these people adopted, it wasn't just foster care, they adopted these kids. For what? It's so senseless. Thank you, Tara. Love you, girl. Thank you so much. It's just so senseless that these evil bastards have done this.
Foster care? Wow. You are an angel. You are amazing. And thank goodness there are people like that are willing to do that and help these children who need everything. Because whatever happened in their lives, they need to be saved from. And that's why the first time I heard the story of Orrin and Orson West, a 3- and 4-year-old. Look at these little, oh goodness, look at these little guys. Are you kidding me? 3 and 4 years old, and there was a story that they were missing. So I said, of course we have to cover this story. Brothers, 3 and 4, both missing. We need to find them and bring them home. Let's cover that story. And we did, and we have been covering that story. And it was one of our unsolved cases here on Closing Arguments. You know, one of the stories that we do again and again and again, looking for tips, looking for clues, looking for answers. Well, tonight, according to the district attorney in Kern County, California, that case has been solved. And it's not what you want to hear tonight. It's not what I wanted to hear. Because the people responsible for the disappearance of those 2 angels were the 2 people who were supposed to save them. Mom and dad. The adoptive mother and father. Those 2 little guys were having a rough life. They were in foster.
The moment we saw these parents, you could just, in my opinion, tell something was up, something wasn't right. It reminded me at least, of Chris Watts. You know how he had his hands over his head, and how Trezell had the way he had his arms and the way she was rocking back and forth. It just wasn't right from the get-go.
Foster care. And then 2 people said, yes, we'll take those children. We'll take care of them. We'll bring them into our family. And now tonight, it's a completely different story. because Trezell West and Jacqueline West, mom and dad, are charged with murder. Here's the district attorney.
I have information about Orrin and Orson West, the two young boys who were reported missing from California City 14 months ago. On December 21st of 2020, Orrin was 4 years old and Orson was 3 years old. Their adoptive parents in California City, Trezell West and Jacqueline West, reported to the California City Police Department that the boys had disappeared from their backyard. The California City Police Department began a search for the boys in the area around their home. After a period of time, the FBI joined in the search, as did the California Highway Patrol and search and rescue from the Kern County Sheriff's Department. The community also came out to assist in looking for the boys, but to no avail. They were not located. 1 week later, crucial information came to light that necessitated the involvement of the Bakersfield Police Department and the Kern County District Attorney's Office. Law enforcement worked diligently, hundreds of hours in the next 12 months, looking for the boys. This morning, I'm saddened to announce that the investigation has revealed that Orrin and Orson West are deceased. The investigation has also revealed that they died 3 months before their adoptive parents reported them missing. However, I am pleased to announce that
That is another thing that I think we all kind of came to the conclusion to, yeah, I agree, hang them by their toenails. That we came to, we never thought that they were in the house. I believe right after they moved, that's when the murders happened, or right before, rather. And that is why they probably moved, to get away. But they had 3 months to discard these precious boys. And I hope that they hang them by their toenails. And I hope that they press as far as the law will take them. And I just don't know. God have mercy on their souls. They're going to need it.
this week, the Kern County Grand Jury indicted Trezell and Jacqueline West, the adopted parents, for the murder of Orrin and Orson West. The indictment charges 5 counts. The first count is murder. Charges them both with murder, with the victim being Orrin West. The second count charges murder, with the victim being Orson West. The third count charges felony child abuse against the person of Orrin West. The fourth count charges child abuse against the person of Orson West. And the fifth count charges false report of an emergency. Naturally, the first 2 counts carry the most time in state prison, murder. It is charged as murder in the second degree. That carries 15 years to life, but with 2 victims, the potential penalty or the maximum possible penalty, if convicted, is 30 years to life for each defendant, Trezell and Jacqueline West. However, one of the questions that I'm sure you would like to know is, have the bodies of Orrin and Orson been found? And the answer to that is no, they have not been found. However, I would like to emphasize that the fact that law enforcement have not found their bodies does not preclude a murder prosecution. As a matter of fact, there have been many hundreds of what we call no-body homicides prosecuted across the United States successfully, and even no-body homicides have resulted in murder convictions in Kern County.
Please pardon the commercial.
So sad. I mean, it's heartbreaking. Everyone was hoping that, you know, the children, best case scenario, were abducted by someone who wanted children and would be raising those little guys as their own. Didn't turn out that way. Let's bring in our think tank tonight. Joining us in Atlanta, Georgia, criminal defense attorney Eklund Mercy. In Los Angeles, California, former federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani. And in Phoenix, Arizona, criminal defense attorney and the attorney who represented Jodi Arias and the author of the book series, which you need to read, Trapped with Ms. Arias. Kirk Nurmi is with us. Great to see everyone tonight. If you don't mind, I'm going to start with Nima. He's in California. He's the former prosecutor here. First thing that stuck out to me, second-degree murder in this case, Nima. Second degree, not first degree. What does that tell you about what prosecutors are dealing with here and what challenges they may have if they've only charged second degree?
An incredibly sad case, Vinny, like you said. I mean, there's nothing worse than a parent killing their own child, and an adopted child, for all intents and purposes, legally is your own child. So I know the biological parents disagree with that, but you know, we've been tracking this case for a year, and the question we've said is, what took so long? You know, why is the DA not charged this case? Where are these children? And the fact that the parents reported the bodies missing 3 months later, for me, I mean, that is the smoking gun, right? That is the proof of guilt there. And why not first degree? I mean, first degree requires that premeditation. Clearly, there's some cruelty going on because really the DA said child abuse, but it's willful cruelty to a child that we're dealing with here. So there's at least some allegations of physical abuse, I believe, maybe even torture. And again, this is just speculation that resulted in these young children dying. So I don't think they have enough for premeditation, but they certainly have enough to put these two in prison for the rest of their life.
Here's the part that I don't understand about that, though, Nima, and I'll throw this to Kirk, is it's two children, right? So I'm like, you're torturing your child and then the child dies, right? Okay, like I've seen that case, I've covered that case, but this is two children. So I'm wondering under what circumstances could we imagine that you don't plan to kill the two children, but you kill two children? That's the part I don't understand here, Kirk.
Well, you know, Vinny, it's hard to fathom those circumstances, isn't it, when we're talking about children that are 3 or 4 years old. But I think one of the keys that we heard in that press conference out of the district attorney was that they had information related to the idea that these young boys had been killed 3 to 4 months prior to them reporting missing. That tells me that the prosecutors have some pretty specific information. And we could probably envision a scenario where it was sadly often the case that these children were probably abused together, perhaps in their room, what have you, and that ultimately led to death. And that goes to what Nima said, they couldn't quite prove the premeditation. But if they were together all the time, sadly abused and tortured together, I think that's why we're seeing second degree. But I think the prosecutors have a pretty strong case if they can pinpoint that point in time when these children were killed.
Yeah, 6 children in the house. I mean, young couple, 6 children, 2 biological. They had 4 adopted children and now had 2, but I believe Family Services has all 4 kids now that are left. Eklund Mercy, I want to ask you about the body. They have not found these children. But first, I want you to listen to Trezell West with his wife there. This is when everybody was looking for these kids, when they spoke publicly and kind of told their story. Listen.
Tell us what happened the night the kids went missing. Oh, okay.
From our yard.
Okay. It was cold. I was gonna make a fire. It's a lot of wood in this area right here next to our house. I opened up the back gate. I'm throwing wood, bringing it inside the house. My wife's inside. She was actually wrapping gifts, so we thought it was a good idea that they got our youngest to go outside and play with chalk in the back patio. Do not let them go on the dirt in the backyard. And keep them close. So I was playing with chalk, and I came in the house. I saw them there. I went in the house. I came back out. I didn't see them there. I immediately went back in.
Look at her. Was there an echo? I'm sorry, I forgot to mute it. Look at her, how she's just going up and down her head. Yeah. Just like, no, it doesn't look like anguish. It looks just like the points that they're trying to make. Very rehearsed, in my opinion.
Asked my wife, did you see the boys? She said, no, they should be outside playing with chalk. I said, well, I didn't see them, so I came back outside and I started searching my backyard. I searched the whole thing. I realized that I left the gate open and I panicked, came inside the house, searched the house, me and my wife. Once that didn't pan out, I got in the van. I looked down the street, both directions. It was getting dark, getting cold, and I got in the van and I hit a bunch of corners. I went down this street. I turned my light on. I searched. I called their names. Talked to a gentleman on the street on the other side over there. He didn't see them. So then I came home and I told my wife, we need to call the cops.
All right, Eklund, that's their story, okay?
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something, though. At the trial, is that the story, or are they going to pull the old Casey Anthony routine where, and now for something completely different in our opening statement that has nothing to do with all the prior statements made by the accused murderers?
Absolutely, and that's their right. But I personally feel like they may have other suspects because as a guardian ad litem, I also did that, and I also represented, children before they were adopted. We saw a lot of situations in which the new families, it's the siblings, it could be other people around the home that have done things. So I don't think it's a slam dunk per se. And if they are protecting somebody, I think that the prosecution should make a lot of more, should make a thorough investigation and really look at how many people were in the home, because we still don't have a body, which will actually help the prosecution if they offer somebody a deal. If they offered one of them a deal, I think that we should all get closure and at the very least be able to find where the children are. So, I think that it's still kind of murky. We don't have any bodies. And even with the information that the prosecution has to prove second-degree murder, I know it's been done before, but it's 2 bodies instead of 1.
With the commercial. Yes, self-soothing, exactly, Crystal. Okay. Can you just imagine? This is going to be, I think, a difficult case for how much money have they collected off the poor children? Well, that girl, I've heard that even after they adopted them, they actually still get money, and they actually get more money I don't know. I really don't know. But what was interesting is they knew CPS really only comes around whenever something is wrong or holidays. And they knew that CPS was going to be coming around for Christmas time. So, what was it, December 24th or something? It was like, or no, December 22nd, I think it was. That's when they mysteriously went missing. There's going, there's so much that we don't know right now. But I mean, just imagining that they had their other children involved. Their other children involved. Can you imagine the mental health that these children are going to have? And why these two? Why? Why? Why would you have, first of all, why would you do this? After you adopted them, I mean, they were getting money for them, which is, in my opinion, probably the only reason they wanted them, which is sad as it is to say. But you knew you wasn't going to get any more money when it comes to, well, I mean, after they went missing. Absolutely, Crystal, they will be traumatized. But I can tell you something. I bet these children are going to shed a lot of information about how the house was ran, about how controlling Trezell was. And I have heard this. I do not know if this is true, but I have heard that when they were trying to kind of get away from the police in that motorhome, that they were also disguised. Has anybody else heard that? That's just a rumor. Don't take it as fact. Um, but I didn't know if anybody else had heard that. And, you know, I've asked this to AV Watchman too, which I consider him the godfather of this case. You know what I mean? He's just the hierarchy in this case. I feel he's put his literally blood, sweat, tears, and life on the line for this case. I asked him because I had heard that when Trezell was looking for the kids, he asked the neighbor if he had saw two black dogs out running around. Oh, thank you, that girl. Just wait, a house of horrors is going to come to light. How many times have they moved? Yeah, absolutely, that girl. How many kids could they have done this to? And not regardless, but also, how many kids have they just screwed up mentally? Can you imagine being a child and making, a foster child is so vulnerable anyways. And, I mean, it's very, can you imagine just being a kid and just going into someone else's house and them, you think that they're going to treat you good. You're away from your parents. You're scared to death. And then they treat you like worse than what you probably came from. Good Lord. And to call your adopted kids, not your foster kids, your adopted kids, dogs? I don't get it. I pray that we find these kids. I really pray that we find them. Remember, CPS does not have a national database. Countries are separate. Our counties are separate. Only a report is some charge. And yep. But how many times have they moved around? And I want to know, why did they have that dang RV? Why? They didn't need an RV. They got all the kids taken away. It was just the two of them. Were they planning on running in it? Camping in it? I mean, and where were they getting their money from? They weren't working. They didn't have any kids at the time. But I can tell you, there is going to be several more arrests, I believe. Because they didn't really want people looking for the boys, so they were very close to Mexico, Amy. Very close. They still collected off of them, even if they didn't have them. I think they were going to run too. I really do. I really, really do. Very sad. I want to give you a very quick update on Serenity McKinney case. Dakota and Abby were transferred. We do have new photos of their um, of their mugshots. Abby looks so happy here, doesn't she, guys? She looks so happy. There is Catherine A. McKinney. Thank you, Michelle. I'll be right back. There's Catherine, who is their mommy's little precious. She thinks her mom thinks that she's innocent in everything she does. It's just senseless. It's just senseless. There's no excuse in doing these to these children. Let me get you to old Dakota. Oh, I'll show you this. Catherine McKinney. She's 21 years old, 5'7", hair black, eye blues, 159, white female. And she just transferred to a new jail. Their next court appearance is, what was it? I think it's the 10th of this month. So I'll get you to Dakota. There's old Dakota boy. There's old Dakota boy. Oh, yeah. That's true, big girl. You're on it, big girl. You always are. you, you know your facts, girl. Amy, that's a good question. Her mother tried to get her out because she is 7 months pregnant. She will be having that baby in a couple months. You know, the sick thing about this is she got pregnant about 2 months or so, 2, 3 months after Serenity, after they discarded Serenity. I'll just put it that way. Yes, she's 7 months pregnant. That's beyond sick. Um, you know, after we did that interview, we had a lot of people contact us about that grandmother. You would be very surprised. I hope she doesn't either. Absolutely, Michelle. Just sad. All right, so I'll show you guys this.
The couple accused of murdering a 4-year-old Kentucky girl answered to the alleged crime in front of a judge. WDRB's Lexi Ratterman reveals an attorney tried to get the mother out of jail since she's pregnant. Lexi?
Yeah, Chris, here at the Bullitt County Courthouse earlier this morning, we learned Catherine McKinney is 7 months pregnant. She and her boyfriend, Dakota Hill, faced a judge earlier this morning. They're both accused of murdering McKinney's daughter. Serenity McKinney was missing for over a year. Her grandfather filed a missing persons report, and her body was found in the woods in West Point last month. Her mother, Catherine McKinney, and her boyfriend, Dakota Hill, were found in Kansas and charged with murder and abuse of a corpse days later. Hill was in court first this morning by video call from the jail. The judge set his bond at $1 million and said he's a danger to the community. When McKinney came up, a public defender tried to get a lower bond for her, stating McKinney's lack of criminal history.
Prior to her arrest, she was employed. She's certainly employable if released and would find work. In addition, and most importantly, Judge, Ms. McKinney is 7 months pregnant. She is nearing the end of her pregnancy and will require regular appointments with a physician.
Despite McKinney's pregnancy, the judge set her bond at $1 million cash. McKinney and Hill are not allowed to have any contact with one another. The judge says they're both due back in court next week. Reporting live, Lexi Ratterman, WDRB News.
Sorry, I'm muted. I am so glad that judge didn't release her, and I am so glad there was no sympathy given. I'm not muted now, am I? Okay. And you know what, Abby, whenever you were pregnant, there's still no sound? Is there still sound? Yeah, Iris. Uh, yes, her mother was nuts. And I'll tell you something, another thing. I had family contact me of Abby's mother, contact us rather, who said a lot of things about Abby's mother. And they weren't as nice as, let's just say that. So, yes. And I think it's just her mother. I think her mother is just, like, I get it. She's your daughter. I get that. And she'll always be your daughter. And it's hard to see your child in that light. But you have to understand, when we were kids, did our parents know everything that we did? Hell no, they didn't, you know? But we certainly wasn't doing what Abby was doing. Yes, guys, if you guys will kindly hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, I would appreciate it. It really helps the algorithm and helping my channel grow. I would appreciate it very much. Yeah, that girl, I think I think it's just too much. How does your brain comprehend your daughter who you raised from the womb on up, right? And she was never in trouble. She made good grades. She never had any history of violence or criminal record whatsoever. And then she gets with this guy, and then the child is dead. Nobody, nobody is like how does your mind comprehend this? I mean, like, I get that there may be some denial, but this happened. I agree. Like, I do not know how she was blaming the bio dad more than she was Dakota. And I'm like, just 2 weeks ago when I did an interview with you, it was Dakota this, Dakota that. Now she's blaming the bio dad. Hell, he tried to get his life together. Excuse me. I mean, he was trying to get his life together, and he allegedly got clean, and he went to Florida and trying to, make, a life. He said he wanted to come back and, you know, since he was clean, but, they're young. And Sometimes your body matures faster than your mind. I really believe that. It is very crazy, Lori. Maybe that hurt. Yeah, I mean, she was very delusional. But I just, when she said that the bio dad was at the Walmart whenever she was saying something about Walmart and he was being there whenever the kid went missing. Well, we don't know when the kid went missing. We don't know the exact day. Oh, I think Abby make the deal first. Good girl. Hey Georgette, are you running into rain yet? If not, you're going to be running through rain soon because you're going to be coming through my state. And it's bad. Be careful on the roads, honey. How does a grandmother accept all this? Maybe she's grieving in some way. Oh, I mean, I think there's a grief and I think there's a panic that you've lost your granddaughter and you've lost your daughter. But just to be honest, my opinion, I felt like from the beginning she was more worried about Abby than her granddaughter. Yeah, 5 stages of grief, and one is denial. And we don't mean the river. As a mama bear, you protect your kids and grandkids. Something wrong with that lady covering the murder. It's yeah, like this is the thing. Abby's a grown ass woman now. She is a grown ass woman. When you have a kid, listen, you cannot be a little girl or a little boy anymore. You got to grow up. And maybe Abby was. I'm sure Abby was abused, and I feel bad that she was abused. Of course, nobody should ever have their hands laid on them. But after you was in jail and you still plead the fifth, saying, not saying anything, no answer is an answer, and saying you don't know is an answer too. Even if she didn't know where the body was, right? She should, in my opinion, she should have said, listen, Dakota snapped one night, you know, he was tired, he was withdrawing, something, whatever it was. And she should have said, I never seen Abby again. I think he really hurt her, murdered her. It's so hard to say. And I've never seen her again. At least give him that, Abby. But if you don't give him that, you are just as big of a piece of crap as he is, in my opinion. Maybe more, because he's just a guy. He's just a guy. He's not the child's. Am I muted? Can nobody hear me? He's just a guy. Abby's the mother of this child. The dad wasn't there. He was in Florida. And that child, Serenity McKinney, was Abby was the only child or the only person in the world who was supposed to protect her. And she didn't. She didn't. She didn't protect him. Her, rather. You know, I really think, sometimes I think in the act of murdering someone, like the very, like when you're shooting them or stabbing them, choking them, anything like that, I think, how can you look in your mother's eyes as you're being strangled? Or how can a man have their hands around your child's throat and you just sit there while your kid is looking toward you, wanting, expecting for you to do something? That's all Serenity had, was her mom. And her mom completely failed her. She is all about her self-preservation, which says a lot about her. Pleading the fifth is for no other reason than to save your own ass. She's participated, or she just did not stop it and likely have it. I'll never understand it. I can't understand somebody doing that. I take a frying pan and horse to a man's head. Damn right, Amy. Damn right. Absolutely. The autopsy has not came back. I have been waiting on that. And I'm just going to, if they was trying to kill my child, they would have to kill me first. I'm just going to tell you, they would have to kill me first. Because I wouldn't want to live without my child, to be honest with you. After I saw that, no, I wouldn't want to live. Wouldn't want to live. And it's disgusting how these parents. I have a ghost in my room. Why? Why do I have a ghost in my room? Why do you say that? It is crazy as hell. It is crazy as hell. So, back to that human head thing, I just wanted to tell you that there is a article out there that says the human skulls are worth $500 each in the medical field. Just wanted to throw that out there. You can actually, I guess on the black market, you can actually buy human skulls. It's kind of crazy to think, but you can. What screen reflecting? What, on my glasses? Yes, you can buy human skulls. Um, so I wanted to tell you guys about this story. It's getting kind of probably, yeah, for research, but there's also people who just, as sick as it is to say, they like to keep a human skull as art or decor. Um, yeah, not with obviously the flesh. Justin OnlyFans and stuff. It's a gift. Okay. So, but I wanted to bring this next story to you guys because I've seen it a lot lately. I don't know if it has to do with mental illness, if it has to do with drugs, if it has to do with religious figures, um, or what. But this is 3 cases that I have saw, like this next case I'm going to show you guys, in just the last like 2-3 weeks. What's creeping you out? What am I doing? What's going on? I didn't understand what you mean. But it's a very, very terrible case. Tell me what you mean. What was it, Heidi? Poor Robin. This is brought to you by WFLA.com.
4-year-old girl who was killed in Benton County are being held in jail without bond. Court documents show they allowed members of the family to be beaten because they were told those members had a demon inside them. Good evening to you. I'm Heather Lewis. This is a Color 10 follow-up story. There are new pictures of the parents, Mary Mast and James Mast. They're charged with endangering the welfare of a child, and Mary Mast is charged with domestic assault. Both Mary and James Mast have pleaded not guilty. These two, Courtney Allman and Ethan Mast, are charged with second-degree murder and assault and sexual abuse in this case. They're accused of beating the 4-year-old victim to death and beating the other members of the family. New probable cause statements we just received today show Ethan Mast and Allman watched the family through cameras in their home. They accused the two of beating the children and threatening James and Mary Mast so they wouldn't help them. The Benton County Sheriff's Office shared in a Facebook post these actions are not condoned by the church the suspects all attended, and so far the investigation indicates this is not the actions of a cult. All 4 are scheduled to be in court 1 week from tomorrow.
Okay. All right. So, man pleads guilty to murder after the body of girl 4 is found covered in bruises and blisters from beating to exorcist a demon. These two look like demons to me. That's what looks like a demon. Why is it the 4, the 5, the 6-year-olds? Why? Every day. A Missouri man has pleaded guilty to the second-degree murder of his 4-year-old child who died in what the Benton County Sheriff's Office described as a religious-type episode to an exorcist a demon. The guilty plea appeared in online court records reviewed by Law and Crime on Wednesday and Thursday. Ethan Musk, 36, has been facing charges including first-degree murder, abuse of a child, child endangerment, assault, and armed criminals, according to Benton County court documents. However, Mast on Tuesday entered guilty pleas to a single count of second-degree murder and a single count of first-degree murder or attempted assault involving serious physical injury or a special victim, according to those records. It's unclear whether the admission to a lesser murder count might offer the defendant any relief at sentencing. Under Missouri law, second-degree murder is a Class A felony. Class A felonies are generally punishable by life in prison or a term of 20 years or more. Plus, the law states that any sentence attached to the assault must be served back-to-back or in addition to the murder sentence. When contacted by Law and Crime, the prosecutor office pointed to the question about the case toward the available court record. In Missouri, second-degree murder is in essence a felony murder rule. It allowed prosecutors to allege murder where a defendant commits an underlying felony in connection with the underlying felony that a person dies. Court records show his appearance on Tuesday. Ethan waived his rights to a preliminary hearing and signed a plea deal. The precise contours of which are still unknown. None of the other charges Ethan has had facing have been updated on his record. But I'm going to show you guys something. These people are fucking sick. Here. All right. So this is the Circuit Court of Benton County, Missouri, Associate Division. All right. Let me get to the good stuff. Well, it's not good, but you know what I mean. Okay, description of charge. Endangering the welfare of a child, first degree, serious physical harm, class felony, class B. A bed next to a crib that had the infant inside. I observed the left side of Mary's face was severely bruised. I asked Mary what happened. Mary said it was from the neighbors. Mary then told me she got beat up last night as well. I asked Mary if she called law enforcement, and she said no. Mary then told me this has been a huge God thing that they convinced us of. It's so hard to read because of black. It's so together. God thing that they convinced us of. I asked Mary if the infant in the crib had been beaten as well, and she stated he had not. I asked James to see the video. He stated he had. James said he could show me, but as soon as the suspects come in, they unplug the camera, and they do it every time they come. James showed me the video of the interior of his home, which came from the camera located on top of the kitchen cabinets. I observed on the video the white female suspect, Courtney T. Almond, walked into view and with her arms crossed in the commanding fashion, followed by the white male suspect, Ethan J. Mast, carrying a cup. I then observed James walk into the view directly behind them. I observed Courtney went straight to the cell phone that. Make sure I'm not on mute. Okay, thank God. Sorry. I observed James walk into the view directly behind them. I observed Courtney went straight to the cell phone that was laying on the window, still on the other side of the dining table. I observed Ethan taking his time and looking around as he made his way to Courtney. I observed James walk out of view toward the sink and could hear him get a glass of water. I observed victim 4-year-old, that's redacted, and the 2-year-old, redacted, sitting at the table eating. I observed Courtney appeared to be going through the cell phone she picked up. James advised this was Mary's cell phone. I observed Courtney appeared to be pointing something out to Ethan on the phone. Then I observed both Courtney and Ethan walk to the far side of the table on the other side of the back door where I observed the camera position near the ceiling. I observed Courtney motion to the plug of the camera, and then she whispers something to Ethan, and she motioned him to the camera in the kitchen area. I then observed Ethan walk to the camera, and the image goes blank while I watched the footage. I observed redacted would not look at the suspects, and 2-year-old redacted appeared to be constantly trying to keep his eye on the suspects. Can you imagine a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old trying to keep the eye on the suspects? A 2-year-old. Sorry. I asked James when the video was taken that he stated it was when Ethan and Courtney came in the morning and stated that he thought the timestamp was around 8 or 8:08 a.m. James said Ethan and Courtney told him if he and Mary tell anyone what they were doing, that they would go, quote, to hell. And this stuff would be pinned on him. That he would go to hell, sorry, not they would. He would go to hell, and this stuff would be pinned on him. James said he did not call law enforcement because the suspect said they were going to beat him up too. James then stated the suspects were controlling him, and he was sick and tired of it. James then stated he thought it was sick of them to do this. I went back downstairs with James and located uh, the I think that says belt. Yeah, belt in question, which was rolled up on a shelf in the bedroom near the front door. I asked James his religion, and he replied saying that he thought he was a Christian. I advised James that a Christian would not let this happen to a child. James then advised me that he told God was talking through the girl, Courtney, that the that the facts supporting the beliefs are follows. On 12/12 at approximately 400 hours, are these asked backwards? Maybe. I was dispatched to Lincoln County. I was contacted by a party, James A. Mass. Uh, I asked James where the victim was, and he stated she was upstairs, and straight through the door was the top of the stairs. When I entered James, I did not observe emotions that I would have expected from a parent whose child was just beaten to death. I responded upstairs and walked through the bedroom door at the top of the stairs. When I opened the door, I observed a 4-year-old juvenile female, redacted, laying on the floor next to a set of bunk beds wrapped in pink blanket. I reached down and found the female lifeless, her eyes partially open, and her skin was cold to the touch. James had followed me upstairs and advised that he covered her with a blanket after he found her. I removed the blanket and observed several purple bruising from the child's neck to her feet on front of the backsides. I also observed open wounds on the back of her legs that appeared to be from blister rupturing. I observed the victim hair was wet within ponytail bands in it. I observed their appearance to be vomit next to the victim's head. Trigger warning. I observed much of the bruising on the victim's body had to what appeared to be a signature belt mark all over. I turned to James and asked what happened to Redacted. James said the neighbor came into the house and beat her. James then told me he had video of the neighbor coming into the house, but after they entered, they shut down the home's interior surveillance, as they do every time they come in. How convenient. James told me the neighbor got his belt and beat blank redacted up. I asked James if he was home during the beating, and he stated he was, and that the suspect made him watch them commit the crime. James said, blank redacted, tried to run to him for help. Evil son of a bitch. Then James hesitated and said it was the craziest thing. James then told me it was not the first time that this had happened. I then observed James appeared to be somewhat distraught, and then he told me that he didn't know what to do. I asked James where the belt was, and he stated it was downstairs in the bedroom. James stated that the suspect went into his bedroom and got the belt to do the beating. I asked James if the suspect just walked into the bedroom. James responded by saying that he had been coming over on a regular basis harassing them. I asked James where his wife was, and he stated that she was down the hallway with the infant, an 11-month-old boy. I responded to the bedroom. I responded to the bedroom at the other end of the hallway and made contact with James' wife, Mary S. Mast, DOB redacted. I observed Mary was laying on a bed next to the crib that had the infant inside. I observed the left side of Mary's face was severely bruised. I asked Mary what happened. Mary said it was from the neighbors. Mary told me that she had gotten beaten up last. Okay, I think I already read that part. Yes. Okay, I read it. Bear with me 1 second. I returned to the upstairs to speak to Mary again. I asked Mary if she had other bruising, and she stated she did on her back. I asked Mary what happened and asked if James beat her. Mary stated James did not do it, but it was the neighbors, and asked the neighbors why the neighbors would beat her so badly and why she did not report it to law enforcement. Mary said that the neighbors said they were doing it for God and that she believed it until it started getting serious. I told Mary that all of her bruises did not happen today, and she agreed. Mary said they said, redacted, was like her demonic, which what this is saying is basically they're saying that the child was like her and they were both demonic. I asked Mary why James did not have any bruises. Mary acted surprised and then asked me if I checked James' bottom because he got beat a little the other night with a wooden spoon. Mary said James got a whooping so bad that he fainted about 3 weeks ago. I asked Mary if she had other children in the home, and she stated her son, redacted, was in another bedroom. I asked Mary if redacted had been beaten as well, and she stated he had. I walked down the hallway, 2 doors on the opposite side of the hallway. When I entered the room, I observed a small infant, redacted, lying face down in a crib. I observed the midsection and the upper right thighs were severely bruised, and the purple was purple in color. I contacted EMS, who was on scene, and requested that they tend to redacted immediately. I then asked Deputy, I don't know if it's Dorothy or Dorothy, I can't see it. It's kind of blurred. Who was documenting the crime scene with photos, to immediately take evidence photos of redacted and in his room. I then contacted dispatch and requested Child Protective Services to be contacted to remove the children from the home. I returned to the room Mary was located in and asked her where the neighbors were. Mary told me they were across the lane. Mary said that the suspects were a man and a girl that used to live with them, and it went bad. So when she lived with them, hold on, and a girl that used to live with them, that it went bad when she said with them. Mary provided the name of Courtney Auburn. Mary said that she was told that all the marks on the children were going to be on her if she told anyone. I advised Mary that I was going to take her kids from her, and she responded by saying, quote, I understand, that's fine because I shouldn't have fallen for it, end quote. I asked Mary to show me the bruising on her back, and then she lifted her shirt. I observed several purple bruising to nearly her entire back. I had Deputy Doherty take digital photos of the injuries to make Mary, or to digital photos of the injuries to Mary. During the photos, I observed Mary was wearing an adult diaper, possibly because of her injuries. I observed some of her bruising did not appear to have just happened that day. And when I asked Mary about it, she stated that it didn't all happen that day. Mary states the suspects got upset when James did not support what was going on. I returned to the kitchen area and questioned James about the incident. I asked James if he had beaten his wife. James got defensive and stated he did not beat his wife. James said he was beaten. James said he was beaten the other night when they forced to take off all of his clothes. I asked James to show me the bruises. James dropped his pants, and I observed numerous bruises on his buttocks that were shaped like the end of a spoon. James stated that it did not it was not as bad as the first time he was beaten. James then said he was sick of it all. James then identified Courtney and Ethan as the suspects that beat his family. I asked James how the suspects could just walk into his home. James stated Courtney had the code to unlock the front door to enter. James then said Courtney left the family in Pennsylvania. James stated Ethan said the same last name as him, but as far as he knows, they were not related. That is a very interesting thing about this case. The neighbors and this family, they both had the same last name, but they were not related whatsoever, that they know of at least. I then asked James to identify his children for the report. However, he had some trouble remembering their birthdays. Imagine that. I then asked James about the incident. James advised the suspects came to his house around 8 a.m., but they stated they normally came late at night. I asked James when he was beaten on his buttocks that he stated it was yesterday. I asked James when they beat Mary because it was apparent some of her bruises were older. James said the last beating Mary got was last night, which was 12/19/20. James then advised his beating was the night before. James said that he got beat the same way Mary did back when he got beat. I asked James the first time they beat the deceased, redacted. James said he put redacted to bed about 6 p.m. or so it must have been around 4:30 or 5. So they beat the shit out of this kid until he's suffering and then he dies. You just put him to bed while he's literally going out of this world. Around 6 p.m. or so, I must have been around 4:30 or 5 p.m. because it was dark outside when they took them out to the pond. I asked James about the pond incident. James said, yeah, they made my wife take blank redacted to the pond and dip her in the pond. I asked James if redacted was breathing when he put her to bed, and he said she was. I asked if she was crying, and James stated she was. I asked James again how they entered his home. James said Courtney had the code to the front of the door. I asked James why they did not charge it when the incident started, and he stated that he tried to change the code but could not get it changed. I then asked James what he was beat with, and he stated he thought it was a wooden spoon. I asked James to. Okay, I already read that one. These are weird. I mean, they're like double copied or something. Okay, I need a break. This needs to be out there, this story, because it's disturbing. God. So disturbing. Who wants to come up? Why the hell does anybody do that? There was another, Tara, I don't know if you've heard of this one or not, but oh no, that's not the one. This other one was in New York. Four-year-old dead, bruised after being bludgeoned by a group seeking to do exorcist demon.
You could see the anguish all over their faces as family members arrived at the East 185th Street apartment to see for themselves.
I don't know what happened, and we're trying to figure that out.
So are detectives at work in the Bronx. Today would have been Alanche Delorbe's 15th birthday, but he was robbed of another year along with his mother, 51-year-old Marisol Ortiz. Both were found in separate rooms of their third-floor walk-up, bludgeoned to death, possibly with a dumbbell. Investigators collecting evidence at the grisly scene also reportedly discovered a bloody knife and signs Delorbe had been strangled in what may be a deadly case of domestic violence. The victim's daughter made the disturbing discovery yesterday afternoon after Ortiz never showed up to work.
Thank you, Vintage. Thank you, Mama. Appreciate you. This story really bothers me. It really bothers me. I cannot stand. That's true like that. But I think there has been a war going on between good and evil since the day we were created as well. You know, it's just, there's a lot of mental people. And when mental people are in places of authority, that is when bad things happen. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Excuse me. I don't know, guys. If anybody wants to come up and comment, you're welcome to come up. Amy, you're welcome to. Karen, oh, Karen says thank you. I see you. Heather, anybody. Welcome to come up and questions, comment, concerns. Guys, I'm really working on a story right now that hopefully, pray for me, will be the chef's kiss. You're back in your bed, Fibro Queen.
I feel like shit.
I bet you do.
Wow. Heading back this way was not fun.
How long did it take?
Well, it's 20 hours straight through. We don't go straight through.
The hell?
We drove to Bowling Green last night, stayed there, and then the rest of the way home today.
What time
Saw
did you
some nasty accidents last night and today. Holy cow.
Rain or snow?
None. Well, we hit rain today, but no snow. But just coming into, I don't even know where the hell we were. We got stuck in traffic, and I saw this red car. I mean, it was flat as a pancake, way off the interstate, just mutilated. And I'm like, no way. Then this morning we see this black car, the same thing, up in trees off the interstate, and then a semi tipped over. It's like,
let me tell you something, guys. When you guys go by, when everybody goes car shopping next time, please check the crash ratings. It's very important. We don't think about it. We think about what it looks like. We think about, does it have heated seats? We think about, is it too far off the ground? Is it not far enough off the ground? But most of us don't think about the accident rating. And
we saw, you guys, this Charger. My husband said he had to have been going 140 miles an hour. He passed us. We were in Illinois, and a Charger. It was a Charger. Sorry, Challenger. Sorry.
I started with a J and it was a.
And all of a sudden, it flew by us so fast, and so then and all of a sudden, it came by us again at the same rate of speed, and I'm like, how did that happen? Well, he must have stopped off at one of those that
rest stop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden he stopped on the side of the road and started backing up on the freeway, you guys.
Oh.
And it's like,
was he high?
What are you guys?
Was he running from the cops?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It was just on the way down to Florida, no accidents. We saw none. We got into traffic in Ocala an hour from our destination for 2 hours because it was supposedly from a car accident, but we didn't see the car accident. But then on the way, back here, it's all we saw.
Wow.
And it was like
crazy drivers.
Yeah,
plenty.
Really crazy drivers today. But we made it home in one piece. That's all that matters.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. Just be very careful.
Dogs going crazy.
But they're glad to see you.
Oh, yeah.
How are you, Lori?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm okay. What do you think about this last case I was talking about?
It's disgusting, and it just seems like it's becoming the norm.
Yeah.
It is.
What is it with this age group?
I know. I remember my kids were out of the terrible twos. They were talking. It was really a fun stage for me.
Right.
So I don't get it. I don't get why this age group.
They're so cute.
Oh, they're adorable. I mean, you have to be a sick.
Yeah, Georgette's headed to South Carolina right now.
Yeah. Drive safe, hon. Oof.
Well, I'm in. Hey, Robin Taylor, could you show your face, please?
Thank you, Jody.
It's me.
It's you. Yeah, I just don't understand it. It's every single day. And like now that things are hopefully opening back up, hopefully we're getting to normal. Now the world's ending. I'm just
Right,
saying.
World War III is here on our doorstep. No.
I just want to know what crazy train all these people came on. You know, like, this is crazy stuff. And it seems like it gets crazier and crazier.
Yes.
It's scary.
You know what the weirdest thing is?
What?
Driving and going through all these towns. I'm naming off. Don't stay here. Bardstown. Don't stay in Bardstown. Don't stay in Bullitt County. Don't stay in, here. Don't stay here. And Mike's like, what? I'm like, all these murders are happening in these areas, and as we're driving, I'm recognizing all these towns from all these murders, these disappearance of all these girls, these kids. And I'm like, it's heartbreaking. Just one trip. And there's like 4 towns we went through on one way. And I'm like, that's actually sickening.
It's
It is. And if we weren't in the community that we're in, I know just from like the news that I watch or the reach that I would have not being in this community, I probably wouldn't have seen any of these cases.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of people have no idea this is going on.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm working on something right now, it could be a big story. And a family member didn't even know this was going on.
Wow.
Oh.
And it's huge.
Wow. Can't wait. Hear it.
Mittens.
I hear mittens.
By the way, your ghost thing I was talking, your light behind you keeps getting brighter and dimmer, brighter and dimmer. See? There it goes.
It's not doing anything here.
But there
it goes. It got brighter.
Yes, for us it goes dim and then
That's
it goes
weird.
bright.
Yeah.
There goes dim.
And listen to your cat. Your cat's going nuts too.
Come on, Mimi.
Dim and bright.
Mittens is so cute.
I love
She is.
Aww.
What are you doing, Gizmo?
Eat my pussy.
Yeah, just what he wanted for you to pick it out.
Yes, he's crazy. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Well, come up here if you.
Oh, I can actually see it. Like it's just the camera adjusting, is what it is.
Come here.
It's still interesting.
Come and say hi to everybody instead of sitting there whining.
There it went, dimmed.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's right. Right now, we can't stop focusing on it.
Whenever you go to a
knock it off.
Like when like you try to do take a picture of like a video or like a computer screen, it flickers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hertz or whatever.
You can get up here. You did it before twice. Yeah, Robin, what's with the name change?
I don't know. You know what it is? I had to get because it's an Apple and my phone is an Apple. They sent out had to get like new SIM cards because Sprint is owned by whatever T-Mobile now or whatever they're owned by. So it took me back to my maiden name.
Ah, Yes, Gizmo missed us a lot. Yeah.
I didn't change anything. I didn't even notice it until you pointed it out.
That's right, Karen. That light changes as much as Robin's last name. I agree.
Can you hear him?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is just like flipping out on me.
Yeah.
He wants to come up here by me because he misses me.
Oh.
I know, Dreamcatcher. It's like, does anybody raise?
I did.
I mean, you gotta raise your kids right, people.
But this other family you were just reading about, but wasn't it the neighbors that were coming in, these people next door coming in, beating all of them?
Yeah, but why is somebody? I mean, why are you gonna let?
But still, that's what I'm saying. This is like so insane.
It's like you got to protect your kids.
Absolutely.
I don't get it.
Me neither. That's what I'm saying. I can't imagine like opening up my door, let my neighbor have the coat come in and just beat the hell out of all of us.
Yeah, not try to fight back, but
exactly, not protect my kids and have to watch that.
yeah,
No
but
way.
then you let the kid beat the hell out of you, or you beat the hell out of the kid after, and you dunk them in the pond,
right?
And then you take them to the bed and put them to bed while they're screaming and crying, and then you go back in and they're dead. Huh?
It's so heartbreaking. I mean, these poor babies. This is the little life they had. This is what they had. This is how people treated them.
Katie.
You're funny, Katie.
I love Katie.
Lori, did you ever hear anything else about that kid in Florida with where they built that
Yeah,
room?
no, I've been thinking about it, but I haven't heard anything. I can dig if you'd like.
I've done some, but I haven't really seen any update on it.
Yeah.
No, I
you know
hadn't
what? I'll
either.
look tomorrow. I'll definitely look tomorrow to see if I can find anything, and I'll let you know.
I can't really find anything with the kid in that was beheaded in
my town,
Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh. My town.
No, this is another one. I tried to reach out to the uncle on Facebook and stuff, but I don't think he gets on there a lot, or a lot of times if you're not on your friends list, it goes to the junk folder too.
Oh, okay.
The spam folder.
I thought this week there was some small article about the parents, Lori, about the kid in the cage. I just scanned it real quick when I was down there.
Okay. I'll look. I'll do some digging tomorrow, see if I find anything new. I hope those parents go away forever.
Yeah. Katie, he's not a pug, honey. He's a Papillon. But he has his little talk.
Mm-hmm.
He's funny.
Okay.
I was hoping my son was going to be here when we got home.
Yeah, I think it was Kansas City, Missouri. Jackie, it was with the little the mother who beheaded the child, and he was found in the bathtub, but his head was found at the front of the door. It's so weird to even say this.
Sherry Pampini, is that the mom's name?
No, Sherry is the woman who went. She said she was kidnapped. I'll show you a picture of her. You'll know who she is.
There was somebody that was just arrested for pretending to be kidnapped. I
Yes,
lightly went over
you'll
that.
know exactly.
Oh, yeah. That was, yeah. I read about that. She pretended she was kidnapped and she was with her boyfriend or something.
Yeah.
That one?
Let me show you.
Is that the one? Where was that one at, Heidi?
Oh, I don't remember. I just
Remember
was.
her?
Yeah, I was reading it on the way down.
Jeanette, one of my twins, he is very chill, and the other one is not. He's not at all. But the other day, my kids go to Catholic school, and Catholic schools are generally more strict. But she came giggling to me when I was in the carpooling, the principal did, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And she's like, your son and another boy, you know, they're both leaders in the class. They're like the two leaders. And they kind of bump heads a lot. Now they're friends, but one of the kids did something to my kids like that, and my son said to the other kid, "You were born in hell."
Oh.
Oh no.
And I was like, "Excuse me, come again?" And I was like, "Where did he hear that? Because I've never even heard of that, saying you were born in hell."
He must have just thought he was being evil.
I guess.
Yeah.
I was like,
Information.
Kids, their minds, man.
so they
I love them.
they had a meeting, and now they're friends.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, for now. You know, when you're 8 years old, it's you can
Yeah.
you're friends 1 minute, and your dog is a
Enemies
pervert.
next. My daughter's going through that right now with her
How old
friends.
is she?
11. But she's been doing it since around that age too. It's been off. No, we're not friends. Then they're best friends, and
Oh, yeah. I remember those days.
yeah.
I laughed. I can't help it. I laughed at her. I was
Yeah.
like, because I was so surprised him to say something like that.
Right.
I was like, "What do you mean?"
Clever.
And he got to the car, and I said, "Zaid, what did you tell your friend?" And before anything happened, his brother said, "He said he was born in hell." You'd see ratted him out. I was like, "Why did you say that?"
Out of the mouths of babes, and they repeat everything you say. And I can tell you a really funny story if you want. Otherwise, I'll
say it. Go for it.
When my oldest was like 3 years old, going 4, I was pregnant with my youngest, and we were heading to Minnesota with my parents. And I'm trying to get packed up. It's early in the morning, and my ex-husband was sitting there eating breakfast with my son, and I'm getting really mad and frustrated. The hormones are, when you're pregnant, you're like, let's go. Because my parents are always on time, and you better be ready, because they were picking us up. And I remember going through the kitchen, and I'm like, would you hurry up? All you're doing is fucking around. It just came out.
Yeah.
And my son decided to say, Mom, I am not fucking around. What do you say to that? I literally had to walk out of the room because I was laughing so hard. You can't punish them.
Nope.
No. Oh no.
Just say, "Oh, that was bad. Mama shouldn't have said that. Don't say that word. No. But but they have to walk out of the room, and I'm going, oh my, and my ex-husband is just sitting there going, oh my God, he's laughing too. And it's like, so it's like, it's true. You have to watch everything you say because they will
my
repeat
daughter did it to
it.
me. She got me good. She wasn't even 2 years old. And she has always been stuck to my thigh. Whatever I do, she's there. If I'm cleaning, she's got to clean with me always.
Yep.
Well, not even 2. And I started putting back our shelves in our pantry. We had taken it out to get the coils cleaned of the AC. So I decided, I was bored. Let me put this back. So I started putting it back. And of course, she had to help me. Well, one of the boards slipped. And I said, oh, damn it. And she looked at me, and I got it together. I went to put back the other board. The board slipped. She goes, oh, damn it. And I'm like, no, babe, don't say that. That's not good. We shouldn't say that.
Then she
So
said,
then
damn it,
I
damn
went
it,
to
damn
put another one in, and it slipped. And I said, oh, damn it. She looked up and she goes, I didn't say it. They're sponges.
That's so funny, Lori,
Please,
because my granddaughter, my
Little
granddaughter.
Bear
I
said,
just remember that little look. I didn't
Yep, they say
say
every.
it.
My granddaughter repeated. I say the same thing, Lori. Damn it, all the time, and I didn't realize that I was doing something in the living room. My granddaughter was in her room playing, and all of a sudden I hear her say, "Damn it!" And then she continues to keep playing, and I was like, "Oh no, I gotta like that's." You hear that, and it's like, yep, you gotta quit saying these things because they repeat it. It's like, all right, thank you for the lesson.
They're all shit nuggets. I love it, Heather. You're right.
yes, shit nuggets. That's so funny. Little Bear says, my 14-year-old told another kid, snitches get stitches. And he right, boo, he right. Oh my God. It's crazy.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
awesome.
Tara, I wonder where you got that from.
Oh,
Tara.
my son at 3 said, put that shit away. I don't know why. Yeah. Because we're always telling our kids, put that shit up. That's why.
Yeah.
Just not like that, but
Okay, so off topic, real quick. Can I say something?
depends. Yes.
Up in my bedroom because I have a lizard in my apartment, and I'm afraid.
You have a lizard in your apartment?
I love those little lizards. Come on, Robin. They're cute.
Freak me out. Are you kidding me?
Oh, man. Those lizards are so cute and tiny. Oh, come on.
Every light on, because they don't like the light. So I have every light on. I just thought I'd share that.
Man.
I know, man.
We saw a really cool one when we were down there. About that big.
Oh, I'm sure. They creep me out.
I don't like them either. I don't like snakes or anything.
I don't like snakes. No.
It's Florida. We have black snakes around here all the time, too. It's like, I've been here all my life. I still don't like the crap.
No.
Lizards not cute. Just snakes with legs. No.
Amen, Cindy. Yes. That's exactly what they are.
Yeah. Oh, Fluffy. What?
The lower fell off.
Fluffy just said something about the attorneys for the West boys. The parents are trying to get a different venue. I saw that today.
I saw that too.
Yeah, they're trying to get a different venue. Some people are saying that the attorneys for the West are a little bit nutty.
Yeah, they're not very bright. And the lady that was trying to translate, every time you speak English, you try and translate in Spanish. Because I was watching AV earlier, and somebody on there breaking it down in Spanish for everyone. But her Spanish was horrible. People in the chats were like, "Oh no."
I was watching Duty Ron today, and he was talking about it, and he was commenting on how the father's attorney was nervous and scared and kind of shaking when he was talking, and it was weird.
I was thinking I wouldn't want them arguing for me in court, just by the way they just didn't seem very put together or something.
Did anybody see Chris McDonough's where he and that other guy broke down Grandis's interview?
Yep.
Yes.
We were listening to that in the car. Yes, it was Sunday, I think it was.
What did your husband think about it?
He doesn't know much about the case, only little things I tell him, because he just thinks we're all crazy, you know, that we sit out here and do this stuff. And he actually found it very, very, very fascinating. He was like, because he enjoys talk, you know, he goes, I rather listen to two people that have like the police, he's a retired police officer, and that got, you know, break it down.
Right.
Because I was listening to it and I hadn't heard what her interview, mind you, I hadn't heard it. And when I was listening to it, I'm sitting in the seat in the car going, what the hell? I'm like, she never said that. That's all wrong. I'm just going crazy. I'm just like flipping out. And he's just like, what? I go, that's not what was originally said. And he's just like, well, he goes, they did it. My husband didn't even have to listen to anything, just what that piece was. And he's like, these guys are good. These guys are really good.
Yep, she blew that stuff.
She blew that whole thing up.
What do you mean?
Grandis
blew up Candace's whole story.
Talking about she got a napping and
Yep.
all stuff that was never
The
said.
boys put her groceries away.
How convenient Grandma was napping, I know. I thought that was clever.
When nothing was ever said, and they were talking about when she
And
woke
she's
up.
like, I believe we were at the lake that day, or they were at the lake that day or something. And I was like,
they were at the lake.
Yeah, right.
Summer, yeah.
And I'm thinking, you believe? That should be a day you should remember every second of it.
She was supposedly at the lake with them. So how could she say, I believe they were at the lake that day?
Yes. And did she say did she ever mention what kind of shot she got?
No, she didn't.
No.
She just said she got a shot and had to wait on prescriptions.
Yeah, and when did Grandis start using a wheelchair? Yeah, that was the other thing.
Yeah.
Well, like you said,
she wanted to look real feeble and stuff.
Yeah.
The 2-minute one, Jeanette. There was a lot of things she said that did not. She never once mentioned Hunter.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
At all.
Nope. And she also stated, we waited for the prescription.
Oh, she said that? I remember that one.
Yes. She says they gave me a shot in the knee and then we went and waited for the prescription. She didn't say we dropped the prescription off and went to the swimming hole. We waited for the prescription.
That is huge.
Yes.
Right.
And then her saying the boys brought her groceries. This is a thing I'm having a huge problem with. Candace said that when she went into the store, she only got milk and cheese, correct?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Hunter said she was in there for like an hour and got groceries. Well,
yes.
Which was it? But then Candace said she went into her house to put her groceries away, then went over to Grandis's to put the groceries away. But Grandis said the boys came over to put her groceries away. Oh, and of course, Summer.
Right. If you only got milk and cheese, that's 2 items. What?
Right. Thank you.
Right.
Right. I mean, if you put the cheese away at Grandis's and the milk away at Candace's.
But that woman has the meanest puss.
Yeah, she does.
Is stuck on.
Yes, Sweet Pea, they were able to fly back. She did feel better yesterday. They flew back on Sunday. Yeah. She was in bed the whole time they were there.
Aww. Well,
I'm just hoping I'm not getting what she had.
Was she sick?
Yeah. She flew in. She had a really bad migraine and started getting like heartburn and stuff. We went out to eat at a Mexican restaurant that night. She could hardly eat, and then she just had like gastrointestinal problems, like stomach and dry heaves and other things. And she never got out of bed on Saturday. And then today on the way home, my head was just pounding. By the time we got home, it was hurting so bad. I just came right in and crawled right into my bed. And
how did she have time to sleep? Good question. And then, another thing, why is it that Candace will do interviews for some people on YouTube, but she will not do an interview pleading for her daughter on the news?
Because I just want to say this first before I say anything else. You notice how they had Grandis propped up against Summer's tree, right?
Oh, really?
Hear those dogs chirping in the background.
Mm-hmm.
The puppies.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of the ones that Ziggy got. You could hear that, right? And all that was going on.
I just pointed that was the other thing she said. She woke up from the nap and we were standing at the door and couldn't get out or something like that.
You know something? Don said the same thing similar one time, and I don't remember the interview. He said, I was from here, or we was from here to here when Summer, like he told on himself.
They all tell on themselves in some way.
He was like, I was from here to here when she went missing or something like that. And we were like, what the? This has been months ago. What, Jose? Could be.
That's what I was saying too when I watched.
Or was she referring to a dog?
What? Get out of there. What? What about the dog?
See, thank you.
I said, was there a dog in the camper with her? And
Yes.
she said, we.
I can't remember where that was either, Heather. They're all lying. I really feel something is going to happen soon.
I think so.
Yes.
I truly, truly do.
Absolutely.
Grandis calls her dog her child. Well, shit, she wasn't a very good mother either.
Oh, and the part about she went to the hill to watch the boys at the creek, right? But she had just had a shot in her knee a few hours earlier.
I see you. Could you drop the link again for iPhone if you can, please? Yes, and also,
oh, that's funny.
When you have a knee replacement like Grandis did, you can do an incline, but you cannot do a downcline.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot. You're going to up.
Vintage, we should play that.
What's that?
Was in the live with Marissa when C wanted the fireplace.
Yeah, that was either Marissa or Ziggy. I can't remember. When they were live when she just wanted.
That was with Marissa.
We need to
I watched
play.
that live that night. That was
What the hell did they mean by this?
What do you mean we need to play?
It's like a game. You play a thing of what they said, and then what the hell.
Okay, I got what you're saying. Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yes, they went to the ER, not a doctor's appointment. That was the other thing.
And then Candace had all this concern for her mom's knee.
Yeah.
Like, I bet she don't give a shit.
She didn't
That's
give
what
a
I'm
shit.
thinking
That
about
thing
that.
was so planned.
Exactly. And I just want to say, hey, I've been missing for a while, guys. I'm sorry. No, me. Like I kind of just fall off sometimes.
Sometimes you need that.
Yeah, I mean, I still watch stuff, but I get stuck on that. It's your fault. It's all your fault, Justin.
Why?
Do you know where I've been? Do
Where?
you know where you put me, man?
Where? Where?
Think about it.
I don't know.
Bizarre. But
What?
you told me the link.
I don't know.
Come on now.
Pornhub? What? I mean,
Oh God, no! I know about Pornhub. Oh,
Ladies Who Lunch? What? I don't know. I mean, I literally don't know.
white.
Huh?
Soft white.
Oh, Underbelly?
Yes.
Oh, I watch that now too.
I have watched so many that I've watched series on just about all the gangsters that he's series on. I have several ones that I even have my therapist. I gave her the name. I said, I want you to check this out. And she's, when I talk, not this Thursday, but next Thursday when I talk to her again, we're going to talk about it. But yeah, I'm on there from morning to night.
Great.
Yep, I see you. I remember that.
Of these people on Skid Row.
Yep.
You see the inbreds?
Yes. That was the first one I watched because you told me to watch that one.
The one that got shot in the face?
No, the one of the guy who barks like a dog.
Oh, those people. His name's Ray. And
They're my neighbors.
They're your neighbor.
Not right next door.
No.
Like, well,
But that's about 35 minutes
you
from
live
me.
in Odd, West Virginia?
Odd, West Virginia. They only live in Odd, West Virginia.
You want to know how you get ripped off at resorts? $4.49 for a little thing of chapstick.
You know what? You could have asked me for some. I could have mailed it to you. It would have been there by Tuesday.
That's
It'd be cheaper to mail it too.
That's what
Probably.
I'm saying.
How much do you think it costs us in gas?
Probably.
In a Dodge Ram.
Ooh, probably about
$300.
I said $350.
Round trip.
Ooh, maybe like 600.
500. What? 500 and something. 500. How much was the gas? $5.50.
This sounds like horrible
cheapest
shows.
gas
Can we watch?
was down south. It's over $4 here in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just saw
it was $4.15. I think was the highest we saw was in Illinois, $4.15.
Wow.
It's Heather said 532.46.
No, it was $5.50 something. He kept all the receipts for the gas, just the gas.
But yeah, that's where I've been, Justin.
What do you win, Heather? Oh boy, I'll think about that.
Tara paid $4.89. It's $3.89 here.
$4.89, Tara. Holy crap!
Okay, now I want to know y'all's opinion. I don't want to get political or anything, but I want to know if the United States makes the decision to pull, because 3 to 4% of our fuel comes from Russia.
Oh.
Are you willing to pay a little bit more for gas if it bankrupts Russia more? Because that really hurts them. And it's not just our 3 or 4%, it's cutting it off basically from the Western Hemisphere.
Do I get to vote? I don't drive.
Sure.
I'm all for it.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to my kitchen, so
People
Pray.
first, then money.
pray for
I'm
me.
gonna say yeah on that.
I hope he takes the motherfucker to his knees. Putin.
My husband was really railing on him on the car today.
He's a thug. He
Yep.
poisons people. Watch the documentary Putin's Poison.
I can't
Oh
watch
no,
these
got
things.
something else for me to watch now?
Yes. It's called Putin's Poison. It's a good documentary.
I'll have to check that out too.
That's all I watch.
Documentaries?
Uh-oh. Vintage yo motherfucker.
You know. So have you watched all those things, Justin, that Mark does?
It's
Tara.
what? What you said? I am going out at midnight to siphon gas out of the neighborhood. Hey, whatever works, girl. I'll get caught. I don't. It's really it's like 10 hours to New York for me.
Get your hustle on, Tara. Get your hustle on. Get it, girl. But no, Justin, I was saying, do you watch?
Oh, you guys didn't see. Oh, I have to. Did I send you that text? I think I sent it to Kim. Well, this is honest to God was on the first gas tank we filled up with on our way home today. Yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
On all the gas pumps, that little sticker.
Oh, it's Putin?
Oh my God.
It's Biden.
Oh, okay.
Biden, a little Biden sticker that says, I did that on every single one of the gas pumps.
I see
Messed
you.
up.
And for all you veterans out there,
Biden's in the hospital?
U.S. military.
That's not good right now. That's definitely not good.
For all you vets out here,
maybe it is.
This was awesome. U.S. vet, biker vets, retired vets. There's about, it was so cool. There's probably about 20 of them all together.
Did you see them?
Yeah, it's that's in the mountains in Tennessee right there.
That's awesome.
Yep. That was so cool.
I'm eating rice pudding. I'm eating rice pudding. Sorry.
That sounds good, actually. I'm afraid to eat anything.
One teen is dead and 2 teens are hospitalized after a shooting outside of Iowa high school.
I just read that.
They just, can there ever be any good news?
You know something? I thought about ending all of my lives with a good news segment.
That would be really great.
I've been thinking about doing that.
And not about buying skulls and all that. I was getting all creeped out. I'm like, oh no.
Justin, I am not sure on that. I think it depends. Depends on what? You mean the gas? I was watching Priceless earlier. I was watching Priceless earlier. A trafficker was nicknamed Tennessee. No crap, I almost fell out. What's that? 519 unleaded over here in California.
Oof.
Jesus H. Christ.
That my mom says that. Jesus H. Christ.
Jesus H. Christ.
Yeah.
Sometimes I say Jesus H.W. Christ. Like George H.W. Bush.
I used to say cheese and rice.
Cheese and rice.
Yeah.
Joe Biden's son, Bo Rush, he probably OD'd. I mean, I'm not being funny or anything.
Yeah, probably.
I hope he's okay. I mean, regardless, I don't want to see anybody die.
What? I said, what?
I mean, that. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, Putin will be tried for war crimes. Here.
Which one, Heather? Bo Biden died years ago. That's right. Bo died years ago.
I was thinking Bo was the one. It's
Hunter's a drug addict or whatever he is.
I don't see anything about Bo Biden or Hunter Biden in hospital.
I've never even been to California, and I'm not saying this in a bad way or anything. I just don't have the desire to go there. I don't know why.
I like Northern California. I love Northern California.
Never been there. I want to go like to Maine and stuff like that. There's so many places I want to go to. We were talking about that on the way back. When he retires, we're going to get a little driving camper and just go.
I have a motor home. I'll sell you.
Yeah, well, I don't have that kind. I don't have that kind of money.
I will sell it to you way below the book value.
Yeah, well,
anybody who wants a motor home, call me.
Can't afford that.
I'll sell it to you way below the book value.
Oh, I see. You said he couldn't stop Putin.
You're crazy. That's so funny. That's good.
I love it.
I don't see anything about him being in the hospital. Any Biden in the hospital.
Well, so to know what you're selling to at below book value. So what's the book value then?
I don't know. I really don't know. I gotta check. But I'll sell to you way below.
I'm sure California is amazing. I'm sure I'd probably love it if I went there.
Oh my God. Zelensky reveals location, puts world on notice about who beast Putin's next target will be. I am not afraid.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
It was a joke.
It was a joke. Okay.
Oh, okay.
He couldn't stop Putin.
Ukraine claims they shot down 2 Russian planes over Kiev.
Jody, the all-natural girl, wants more information on your camper, your thing. Not your thing, your camper.
Email me. I think it's a 40 feet diesel with 4 or 5 slide outs. It's a nice one.
That's too much for my husband and I.
It's
Which is the two of us.
It's got a.
I'd love to buy it.
It's just
drive out to California in it.
It's just sitting in one of our friends' hangers things at an airport.
I'm not a dirty-minded woman, please.
Oh, I thought you were
I'm an old bat.
I don't know. But anyway,
Just an
if
old
I
bat.
had money, I would buy that and I would
Does not
drive
come
all
with
the
the
way to California. Anyways, to go
Jack,
see
yes.
to see these people on Skid Row. Just to see
Oh,
what it's like.
just
at their
driving
eyes.
through Atlanta. I don't have to go to California. Just driving through Atlanta, Georgia. That was enough for me.
I don't want to live there. I just want to go. After watching all these things, I'm like, these people have caught my interest and I'm intrigued. Like,
It's sad.
it is very sad. And these people are dumb. These people are not dumb people. These people have been wounded in their lives. And that's why I say, I would just, I don't know. I'm wheezing a lot because I've been out of my inhaler for my COPD. I just got it late today with my aid, but I can hear myself wheezing. I don't know if you guys can hear it.
You do not need a CDL.
I thought you needed a CDL for those bigger ones.
Nope, you don't need a CDL.
Well, that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not in your state.
No, you don't need a CDL. I bought it in Texas.
Oh. Yeah, it runs on diesel, he said.
It's diesel. Yeah.
And the cost of diesel gas right now, ooh, giddy out.
Yeah. I wish I was rich because I sure would do that. That guy Mark is a cool guy though that does those interviews.
It's got a washer and dryer in it.
That's just the moving Airbnb. That's all it is.
That's all it is. I'm referring to the Putin joke. His son may be in the hospital. I don't know. Oh, I haven't seen anything about anybody being in the hospital.
There you go, Jackie. Kim and Dallas can drive you all around in it.
Dolly Parton dedicates entire show to Ukraine. I want us to send our love and hope.
Tara, you have Karen laughing? Well, that's good.
Virtual warfare. Warning major U.S. city on ultra high alert over increased risk of Russian cyber attack. Oh, Heidi, guess what?
Oh, God. What?
I cleaned out my washer filter.
Oh, you did?
I did.
How bad was it?
It was fucking disgusting.
I told you.
Oh.
I took a picture.
Oh, wow, you
did. Yuck.
Nasty.
I took a picture of the icky-ness.
So there's this box on the very bottom of my thing. I always thought it was a fuse box.
The look on your face when I told you were supposed to clean that once a month was freaking priceless.
I was like, the other day she was like, "Oh, I just got sludge everywhere in my and when she was cleaning out her washer thingy," and I was like, "What do you mean you're cleaning out the filter and your front loader?" I was like, "I have a front loader and I've had it for 10 years and I've never cleaned it out." Oh God. Yeah, I am.
Ant's never had to replace any fuses either, right?
Yeah, I've never had to place any fuses either. I thought it was a fuse box. I swear.
I can't believe that you didn't have water all over your floor from not doing that. I'm really surprised.
It was just full of
muck. Gross.
It was like dog hair and cat hair when I wash, I guess, the dog's beds and stuff.
Yeah,
and use it and
yeah.
stuff. I don't know.
And
But
smelly.
it wasn't smelly.
No?
No. Mine was not smelly. Didn't smell.
So he cleaned it out, and his husband said, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I know what I'm doing. I knew it's been here the whole time."
Yes. I never knew there was a filter either. Oh my God. Thank you, Sierra.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell can there be a filter on a washing machine? Like, I'm always cleaning, like, the rubber thing around it, but
I would have never known that either.
I never knew. I mean, I've never read the directions to a washer either. I just use it.
Boy, up against this yellow wall, I don't look like I have a tan anymore. I look weird.
Well, you don't look pasty white either. So you look like,
I didn't go down there to get.
No, but you look good.
I got color. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, her husband died today.
Who?
Yeah.
Karen's.
No.
Her husband died?
Yeah.
Yes. At 2 something today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, I don't either, Jay.
I have perspective sometimes.
I didn't think he was going to last very long because he was just so. I mean, it was just so.
It went fast.
Yeah, it did. Like what? 4 weeks? 4 weeks. Just start to finish. 6 weeks.
Well,
start to
you
finish.
see, first they told her 5 years.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But from start to finish, what was it? 6 weeks, maybe?
If that, I don't even know if it was that.
Bad. But I mean, like, that should put life into perspective for everyone. Like, you never know.
Yeah. I hate that. Guys, I have to run. It's time for bed.
You're gonna run in.
Well,
Poor
for my
boy.
boys, not me. My
Oh.
boys. So
Just joking. I know that.
I'm gonna go live for a while, I guess.
Yeah, I'll meet you in there.
All right.
Can I come over?
No.
Okay.
She can, of course you can. You're welcome to both of ours anytime, I'm sure.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
All right.
Love you guys.
I'll see you guys all over at mine in a couple minutes.
Thank you all for joining me. Love you guys.
Bye.
Appreciate you.
Bye, guys. Love you.
Bye-bye.